Hi students, today we are discussing the next point in the rotational motion, that is the radius of gyration. Radius of gyration. Radius of gyration. Already we know about the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia I is equal to summation which having limit I is equal to 1 to n mi ri square. That means the moment of inertia depends upon mass of the object and mass distribution from the given axis of rotation. If we are interested in knowing only mass distribution around the axis of rotation, then we can express the moment of inertia of that object as I is equal to mk square. If we are interested to knowing only mass distribution around the axis of rotation, we can express the moment of inertia of that object as I is equal to mk square, where m is the mass of that object. It means that the mass of that object is effectively at a distance k from the axis of rotation. In this case, the k is called as radius gyration. In this case, the k is called as radiation of gyration of that object about given axis of rotation. Now we are taking one example of that. Consider a ring and a disc. Consider a ring and a uniform disc of same mass m and same radius r. That means that uniform ring and uniform disc which having the same mass m, same radius r. Then in that case, suppose IR is the moment of inertia of ring and ID is the moment of inertia of a disc. Then if K means what? This is the radius of gyration. Already we take now. KR means that this is the radius of gyration for that ring, and KD means what? This is the radius of gyration for disc. We are taking that uniform ring and uniform disc. M is the mass of that, same mass of that ring and disc. R is the radius, that also same for ring and disc. IR is the moment of inertia about that ring, and ideal is moment of inertia for that disc. And KR means that is the radius of gyration for that ring, and KD means radius of gyration for the disc. So in that case, we can write the formula. IR means moment of inertia about an axis passing through the center of that ring and perpendicular to the plane of that ring. For formula for that, already we calculate that formula, that is IR is equal to mr square. IR is equal to mr square, or we can write that as, because I is equal to mk square, so in that form we also write mkr square. I is equal to mk square. That means I is equal to mkr square. So from this we can get get cancel here, or mr square is equal to mkr square. Get cancel, so we get kr square is equal to r square. That means kr is equal to r. See this equation number 1. Kr is equal to r. So this is equation number 1. Same way this is for ring, same way for the disc. Moment of inertia of a disc about an axis passing through center and perpendicular to the plane of that disc is given by the formula ID is equal to half mr square. This is the formula for that disc, half mr square, or is equal to, if we apply this formula, then mkd square, because this is disc, so we can write here kd. So here also get cancel, same way get cancel, and here we get kd square is equal to r square divided by 2. That means what is kd? KD is equal to R upon root 2, taking square root of both sides. So we get this equation, that is KD is equal to R upon root 2. See this equation number 2. From equation 1 and 2 we can write KD is less than KR, because here KR is equal to capital R and KD is equal to R upon under root 2. That means that KD is smaller as compared to KR, and that's why we can write KD is less than KR. That means radius of gyration of the disc is less than radius of gyration of the ring. That means in case of ring, the mass is distributed at a distance R. In case suppose this is a ring and this is radius, this is the axis of rotation. Okay, that means in case of ring the mass is distributed at a distance R, while in case of disc, suppose this is disc, suppose this is disc, this is axis of rotation, this is R. Okay, so in case of disc, mass distributed from 0 to R, that means from this point to, from axis of rotation to R, that means the mass distributed from 0 to R. In case of ring, that mass is distributed at a distance R from the axis of rotation, but in case of disc, that mass is distributed from 0 to R, and that's why this shows that K is decided by the distribution of mass, and that's why the ring has larger radius of gyration than that of the disc. And as the radius of gyration is larger, then moment of inertia also larger, because I is equal to mk square. I is directly proportional to k square. As the radius of gyration increases, moment of inertia also increase. This is the small point, radius of gyration, which is asked for 2 marks. We must know about the I is equal to mk square, where I is the moment of inertia, m is the mass of that object, and k means what? This is the radius of gyration. That is the whole mass of that body is supposed to be concentrated at that particular distance from the given axis of rotation. This is about the small point, radius of gyration. Now we are taking the next most important point, that is the theorem of parallel axis. Theorem of parallel axis. Now what is this theorem? This is most important theorem which is asked for 3 marks. Important 3 marks. What is that? Which is that theorem? We must know about this. IO is equal to IC plus MH square. Now from this equation we can write the statement of this parallel axis theorem. What is IO? IO means, I means what? This is the symbol for moment of inertia. This is also moment of inertia. This is also moment of inertia. M means what? Mass of that object or that body. H means what? This is the distance between 2 parallel axes. This is the distance between perpendicular distance between the 2 parallel axes. So in that case, what is statement? From this equation we can write the statement. The moment of inertia of an object about any axis, O is the any point. Okay, suppose this is body, this is point O, any object, axis of rotation, that means this moves from this. IO, moment of inertia about this axis, O is this point, and that's why moment of inertia of an object about any axis is equal to or is always equal to the sum of, this plus sign is there, sum of moment of inertia about an parallel axis. This is the parallel axis which is passing through center of mass of that object, C, parallel axis, and this distance OC is equal to H. That means H means what? Distance between the 2 parallel axes. H is the distance. So the moment of inertia upon an object about an axis is the sum of moment of inertia about an parallel axis passing through center of mass and product of mass of the object and the h square, square of the distance between that two axes, square of the distance between that two axes. So that's why we can write IO is equal to IC plus MH square. This is the statement of parallel axis theorem. So we have to prove this, IO is equal to IC plus MH square. Now in this condition, consider an object of mass m. M is the mass of that object. The axis, there are two axes, the axis, we can write their name MOP. Suppose axis MOP is an axis passing through point O, and second axis we can write there A, this C, center of mass for C, and this B, and second axis ACB is passing through center of mass of that object, and these two axes are parallel to each other. These two axes are parallel to each other, and the distance between the two parallel axes is equal to h, or we can say that OC, that is equal to h. Now consider the another small element of mass dm, which is located at point D. Suppose D is the point, at point D. Now draw the perpendicular. Suppose this is C point. Draw the perpendicular from that D to extended OC. Suppose this is N point. Now join this OD and OC. Now moment of inertia of object about an axis ACB, we can write about, according to the definition of moment of inertia, about an axis passing through center of mass, that is IC square is equal to what? Integration of DC or CD square, DC square dm. So this is equation number 1. And about the second axis, that is which is passing through point O, that is MOP, moment of inertia about the axis passing through point O, that is IO, is given by the formula integration of, from this axis OD, this distance means OD square dm. According to the definition of moment of inertia, we take that two equations. IC is equal to integration of DC square dm, equation number 1, and second IO is equal to integration of OD square dm, equation number 2. Now from that equation 2 we can write IO is equal to, that is moment of inertia about an axis passing through point O, is equal to integration of, we can write there integration of OD square dm. But now from that figure, what is OD? We can write there OD square. Now this is the right angle triangle ODN. So instead of this OD, we can write DN square plus NO or ON square, according to the Pythagoras theorem. So we can write OD square is equal to what? DN square plus NO square. So we can write that. So IO is equal to integration of dn square. Instead of OD, we can write dn square plus NO square, we can write that in bracket, into dm. So what is NO? NO means what? From that figure, NO means, we can, instead of NO, we can write OC. This is center of mass. OC plus CN means NO or ON. ON means what? OC plus CN, and that's why we can write that IO is equal to integration in bracket dn square plus instead of NO, we can write here NC square sorry, NC plus, or we can write NC plus CO bracket square into dm. Now we know the a plus b bracket square, a plus b bracket square is equal to what? A square plus b square plus 2ab. That's why we can write IO is equal to integration in bracket dn square plus nc square plus 2nc co plus in bracket co square bracket complete into dm. Now what is dn square and nc square? From figure we can write dn square and nc square means what? This dc square. So we can write by applying the same Pythagoras theorem in integration. Now in big bracket, instead of dn and nc we can write dc square plus 2 nc co plus co square, this co square into dm. Now we know that this co integration of dm, or we can write that integration of dc square, multiply that dm to each term, dm plus 2, or co means what? That is the distance between two parallel axes that we consider h. So we can write co means h integration of nc into multiplied by dm plus last term, that is co square into dm, integration of co square into dm. Now IO is equal to, now from equation 1, what we write there? Equation 1 IO is equal to, IC is equal to dc square dm. So we can write here IO is equal to dc square dm means what? This is the IC square plus 2h integration of nc into dm plus co means what? Co means that is the distance between two parallel axes, that is we consider h. So h square integration of dm. Now integration of dm means that is the mass of that object, capital M. Integration of dm means m. So we can write IO is equal to IC, sorry, here only IC, not IC square. dc square dm means that is moment of inertia about an axis passing through center of mass. So IC only, not IC square. So IO is equal to IC square plus 2h integration of nc into dm plus integration, instead of this integration of dm we can write m. So mh square. So according to the definition of center of mass, we can write integration of nc into dm is always equal to 0, and that's why we get that equation IO is equal to IC plus mh square. Because if this integration of nc into dm is 0, the 0 multiplied by 2h means that completely becomes 0. So we get this last equation IO is equal to IC plus mh square. We have to prove that. Okay, this is the principle of, or this is the statement of parallel axis. IO is equal to IC plus mh square. Here also we prove that IO is equal to IC plus mh square, and this is the mathematical form of theorem of parallel axis. Up to this question is asked for 3 marks. Very simple question is this, and a statement from this equation is most important. From that equation we can write the statement of parallel axis. What is that statement? From this, that is the moment of inertia of any object. O means any object about an moment of inertia of an object about any axis. O means any axis is the sum of moment of inertia about a parallel axis passing through center of mass. C means center of mass, and product of mass of the object and square of the perpendicular distance between that two parallel axes. This is the theorem of parallel axis. Now next most important point that also asks for 3 marks, that is the theorem of theorem of perpendicular axis. Theorem of perpendicular axis. Now here also statement is there, Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. Similar way, there also in case of parallel axis we write there I0 is equal to, or IO is equal to Ic plus mh square. Here we write Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. Here what about the statement of perpendicular axis? The moment of inertia, that means Iz, the moment of inertia of a laminar object. Suppose this is object, moment of, and this is this Iz axis which is perpendicular to the plane of that laminar body, Iz. What is statement? The moment of inertia of a laminar object about an axis perpendicular to its plane, that is this one is perpendicular to its plane, is the sum of, is the sum of its moment of inertias, about two mutually perpendicular axes. This one is x and this is perpendicular to that, this one is y. Two mutually perpendicular axes in its plane, and these axes in its plane are being concurrent, and which is concurrent at point O. This is z axis, this is x axis, this is y axis. Now consider three mutually perpendicular and concurrent axes. Two of them, out of that two, that is x and y, two of them are in the plane of the object, and third one which is perpendicular to the plane of that object. Now the laminar object is like a leaf or any two-dimensional object. From that figure we can see that the axes x and y are in the plane of that laminar body, while which z axis which is perpendicular to that plane, and all are concurrent at point O. Now consider a mass dm. Suppose mass of that small element, that is dm, mass of that small element dm located at point P. Suppose this is point P, located at point P. Let Pm and Pn, this is Pn and this is Pm, Pm is equal to y and Pn is equal to x, means this distance Pn is equal to x and Pm is equal to y. This is O. Okay, Pm is equal to y and Pn is equal to x, and perpendicular drawn, these are the perpendicular drawn to the from point, these are the perpendicular drawn from point P on axis x and y. If Ix, Iy and Iz are the respective moment of inertia of that body about axis x, y and z, then we can write according to the definition of moment of inertia, Ix is equal to integration of, Ix means this axis. What about the distance of that point from the axis of rotation? This is the y, so we can write y square dm, equation number 1. What about Iy? Iy is equal to integration of, Iy means this axis. What about distance? We consider the distance is x, so we can write x square dm, equation number 2. Now what about the Iz? Iz means this axis which is perpendicular to that plane, and this distance we must know about the OP distance, so we can write Iz is equal to integration of OP. How to find out that? This ON is equal to y, this y and this x, so OP or OP distance is equal to x square plus y square. We can write x square plus y square dm. This is the moment of inertia Iz about an axis perpendicular to the plane of that laminar body, so we can write Iz is equal to this one. So Iz is equal to integration of x square, sorry, integration of x square dm plus integration of y square dm. This equation means x square dm is multiplied to this one, y square dm. So we can write that equation as like this. And from equation 1 and 2, look that equation 1, y square dm means ix and x square dm means iy. So we can write iz is equal to x square dm means what? X square dm, that is iy, and y square dm means what? From equation 1, ix. So we get iz is equal to ix plus ix plus iy. Iz is equal to iy plus ix or ix plus iy. So we got this equation, iz is equal to ix plus iy. This is the principle of theorem of perpendicular axis, and this is the mathematical expression for the concept of perpendicular axis. Iz is equal to ix plus iy. Okay, thank you.